Greetings and salutations. My name is OJ as always, and I'm sure some of you, many of you at this point, have seen my video on Dispatch, where I go very much in depth. Well, I say in depth, I just rant for 40 minutes because this game really frustrated me. And you know what? It's been 2 months since this video came out, give or take, a few days. And I feel like I probably should clarify my opinions on the game a little bit, as for some reason, don't know, maybe the algorithm felt like treating me well, it has pushed this video quite a lot. As of late, I saw like a massive increase in views on this specific video, basically, 2 months after it came out. And I just want to like clarify some of my opinions on it because, it's been 2 months, opinions can change. And this video was made like basically the day after I finished the game, so it was just kind of me ranting about stuff that I really didn't like. And I will say, first and foremost, I'll address the elephant in the room, as they say. Most of my opinions on Invisigal in this video still hold true. I still do not like her at all. I find her very frustrating. I do not like the fact that the game does not really allow you to set your boundaries when it comes to her. I don't like the scene in the locker room still. I still despise it. I despise still the way that Malevola tried to grab Robert's balls. I still despise most of the way they treat the sort of kind of sexual assaulty stuff in the game. How they kind of like pass it by as a joke or it's meant to be romantic. I generally do not like that. And I still am very firm in saying I don't like Invisigal. I don't like the way the game almost forces her down your throat. Like, I just don't like it. I still do not like it. It's been 2 months. That has not changed. However, in my blindness and my hatred and my anger for Invisigal as a character and the way the writing generally is, I did kind of like skip over maybe a few things that I did actually like. And I feel like I want to clarify that, and I want to like address some of the comments down here because there are some, good points and stuff that kind of like further affirms and some that challenge what I have to say, which is obviously good. I like, back and forth discussions, etc. Now, I will say, first and foremost, I like the gameplay of this game a lot. I actually really like Dispatch's gameplay. I don't know how much I really kind of said that in this video, but I do actually really like Dispatch's gameplay. The gameplay segments, for me, were, funny enough, the most fun parts of the game. And I know you would hope for that in, a video game, but consider what we're talking about. We're talking about a Telltale-like. Games that are almost infamous for their, lacking gameplay. So, having really fun, solid gameplay that I do want more of is a rarity for a Telltale-like. Like, most Telltale-esque games, you play it once, you enjoy the story, and unless you want to see, like, the other options or the other endings, there's not really much reason to replay them, but, I would replay Dispatch another time just because of this gameplay. I'd enjoy it quite a lot, and I feel like I should clarify that. And generally, across the board, I do think the story is relatively okay. It's hard to remember what I actually said in this video, and I probably should have watched my own video back over when it came to, before I made this, but still, like, generally, I think the story is okay. I think it's fine. I think it's passable, standard. It's nothing like mind-blowing or shocking. And again, in my hatred for Invisigal and how much story time that's the thing, right? I say the story is okay, but when like kind of the latter half-ish of it focuses so much on a character that I really don't like, it does kind of become hard to say how good I think the story is, because so much of the story is revolving around a character that I cannot bring myself to like. Get it? That's a reference to the video title. You see why I did that. But yeah, generally I think the story is relatively fine. What I do regret not really mentioning too much in this video is the other members of the Z team. I actually do wish I talked about, some of these other lot, and I'm going to do that right now. I genuinely think the rest of the Z team is actually really fun. That's the thing, these aren't particularly complex characters, and I did criticize the game for maybe not giving some of these characters more development. Like, I kind of wish, like, I don't know, something about them, they all feel like they're kind of missing something. I think this game generally could have used a bit more to it. like maybe an extra 2 chapters or something, just to kind of like flesh out some of these characters a little bit further. Like characters like Malevola, I feel don't really have much going for them outside of, you know, like a lot of these characters are personality first, story second. Like Sonar, his personality is really funny. Most Critical does a really fun job voicing him, but I couldn't really tell you too much about his story, at least not off the top of my head. I like the rest of the Z team, and I feel like I neglected to mention that in the original video, and I do regret not mentioning that in the original video. And honestly, I think generally, like, it's hard to talk about this game because the stuff with Invisigal plays such a big part in the story and the way things evolve, and a lot of it revolves around her. So when it comes to like complimenting the game, it's hard because at the back of my head, I just know, yeah, most of this is kind of being dragged down by the invisible elephant in the room. Like, it's so, I want to like this game. I do want to like it, and I do mostly, but again, when so much of the latter half of it revolves around a character that I cannot stand, it becomes quite difficult to enjoy it. It does. It really, really does. And I've seen generally quite a lot of people express the same sentiments, and this is where obviously I talk about the comment section. Hell, even here in my YouTube recommended, this video is very solid by the Nightly. Is that how you say that? Yeah, Nightly. We deserve better than Dispatch. I quite enjoyed that game, and that video I meant. And generally, I find myself agreeing with a few things that he said in that video. It's like this game is good, but it could have been great, and it's not particularly hard to make it great. There was a comment somewhere, this comment right here, where they point out that there's nothing wrong with flawed characters, and the problem is that Invisigal isn't punished and is in fact rewarded for her disgusting behavior. Like, a redemption arc for Invisigal could have been done, and it is. They do attempt to do it in the game, of course, but it's not done very well, in my opinion. And as this person said, a redemption arc must be earned, and I do think that is the case. I am in agreement with that. Like, I just think that she's allowed to get away with too much and allowed like too many second chances. I think someone else down here pointed out that like we cut someone at the very beginning of the game. Of course, it was either Sonar or Coupe, and you cut one of them for what? They were lowest on the scoreboard. We cut someone for doing like a little bit worse than everyone else. But when Invisigal does all of this shite with just it's been a minute since I played the game, actually. It's like she does all of this shite that's just really annoying and frustrating and kind of weird and just generally disruptive to the group. And then the game tries to make you feel like bad for cutting her. Like, I'm sorry, as other people have said, and I think I can't remember who it is in the actual scene where you have to decide to cut her. Someone in there says that, oh, we've cut others for less, and it's like, yeah, we have. Like, and again, this is another comment. You can see I liked it, so I do agree with it. For a game around building and managing a team, Dispatch is far too insistent on centering the entire narrative around one character. And for a game about taking responsibility for oneself and making better choices, it's strange that one character's choice to be a good person is framed entirely as someone else's responsibility. This is obviously referencing the fact that at the end of the game, if you do not side with Invisigal enough, I suppose, she will turn to evil, and the game will kind of blame you for it. I think the exact words are like, you have failed as a mentor, and it's like, I'm mentoring 8, like, how many people are in that image? Like, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, I'm mentoring 8 people, and one of them gets the extra special benefit, and I am told that I failed as a mentor because 1 out of 7 people decided to sexually harass me, sexually assault me on multiple occasions, and generally be a disruptive force to the majority of the ordeals in the game. And also put one of the other heroes in a critical condition. And, like, dude, Dude, really? I failed as a mentor because one person. I understand, like, the idea is I have to redeem everyone. I understand that. But we cut, like, Coupe for what? Being lowest, or I cut Coupe for what? Being lowest on the scoreboard? And you're going to tell me that I'm a bad person for cutting Invisigal after she has disrupted the group's flow multiple times and put Chase in critical condition? Hello? Do you not realize the kind of, what is it, hypocrisy? You know what I mean? Like, just the sort of irony in that. It's just, I don't like it. I don't. And again, going back to this comment here, like, they're trying to sell the found family dynamic, and yeah, like, they are. It's clear from, like, the bar scene and the kind of ending of the game. It's meant to be kind of like a found family between all of these lot. And it's like, but we don't really get many personal moments with any member except Invisigal. Like, we get small, tiny tidbits, like with Gollum, for example, outside of the bar where you know, Robert gets him 2 drinks. Like, that's neat. That's a small, tiny moment, but, like, that's almost not enough. And again, as I said, I do think this game would have benefited from, like, 2 extra chapters where you can flesh out some of these other lot a little bit more. Like, seriously, do we really get, like, a personal moment with Prism? Really? We don't, really. And I think that's really disappointing because generally I find her probably the most entertaining of the lot here. Like, the most, besides Invisigal, the character we get, like, the most personal moments with is probably Flambe, because of the bit with the training montage in the gym where he helps out Robert before he dies to a thingy, not a dumbbell, you know what I mean, in the gym with the two of them when they talk. And obviously they already have a pre-existing connection from Flambe being thrown in prison because of Robert's actions as Mecha Man. So it's like, that's about as close as we get to another character being personal with Robert, but it's just, I don't know, it's this game, this is kind of just like a easy, I like to be honest with all of you, right? I've been away for a bit, as I'm sure you can tell. We just pull up my channel. The last video I made was, what, 2 weeks ago? I know it says 2 weeks, probably been longer. You know, Christmas, New Year's, etc. And this video, or, well, this video has obviously gotten a lot more attention, so I feel like I should follow up and clarify some things. I do like this game for the most part. I feel like I should say that. And I like to be honest, this is just an easier video for me to make right now. I need to get back into the swing of things. You know, I've been away for a bit. I've got to get back into the swing of things, and this is a simpler video to write. I don't write my videos to do. But yeah, like, generally, it's interesting to see, like, the agreement in the comments. Like, I was kind of worried personally to make this video here because I was kind of curious to see what people would respond with, because a lot of people online, because originally that was part of the reason why I made this video, because I would go on, like, Twitter, and I'd go on TikTok, and I'd go on Instagram, I go on different social medias, I go on YouTube, I just see people like just, I don't like to use the word glazing, but glazing the game, like singing its high praises to heaven and back, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, game of the year material. And I was just sat there, like, after finishing the game, looking at all this stuff, and I'm just like, no. No, I don't agree. So I did end up making this video, and generally the response has been positive. Like, if I just pull up my analytics, ooh, you get to see a YouTuber's analytics for once. Scary. In the sort of, how would I find channel content, right? We go to our channel content and we go down to the dispatch video. The like to dislike ratio is, you know, relatively, like, equal, or or relatively positive, like 94.2% positive. I was honestly, I personally was quite surprised at that. Like, I was actually surprised to see that most people agreed with me, because generally across the board on the internet, I had seen people just singing the game's high praises. Even, like, reviewers that generally I agree with on most things, like, funny enough, he's right there. Skill Up. I usually agree with Skill Up on the majority of his reviews. I'm like, his reviews are usually how I feel, kind of share. I wouldn't say like I share a lot of opinions with him generally, but like most of the games that he covers, whenever he reviews them and says, "Oh, I recommend, strongly recommend," etc., I usually agree with him. But I just kind of like watched this video the whole way through, and I was like, "Nah, I don't think I do." Like it's kind of rare for me to, you know, disagree with Skill Up on opinions on games, but still, generally the comments have been quite positive. I appreciate that a lot, by the way. And for those that obviously disagree with me, I do appreciate that as well. It's nice to see people disagreeing and kind of conversing what they think is correct, wrong, blah blah blah. I've had a few people point out that obviously Invisigal's attitude and the way she acts as a 27-year-old is actually more normal than most people would think. And I think the reason I kind of pointed that out as like a big thing is mostly due to the fact I probably don't have too much experience with other people my age and above. I am a relatively reclusive person, as you can maybe tell. I don't know. But yeah, generally, when I pointed out like how she acts like a teenager whilst being 27, and obviously made a big deal out of that, many people in the comments, I could probably find it if I sorted this by new. There's been so many comments actually lately that I've genuinely had to turn off my notifications. Like before, I had my notifications on. I'd, you know, like look at the character or look at the comments and read them, click them. But like there was, yeah, this comment kind of caught my eye where it's like, as a person twice your age, I feel like it's huge overreaction. And like, it's like, I think maybe some of my complaints with the way this game portrays things might come from the fact that I'm, you know, only 20. I'm relatively young. I haven't hit Unk status yet, as they say. So maybe that has something to do with it. But either way, I just wanted to make this video. It's kind of easy, gets myself back into the swing of things, get back into the rhythm of making videos again. And, you know, this video has been blowing up. I feel like it's fun to kind of clarify things. I do like Dispatch, but I am teetering on just finding it okay. It's like the strongest, not the strongest. It's a 6 out of 10. To me, I think it's a 6 out of 10. And Invisigal, if she was maybe written differently or was held more accountable during a lot of her sequences, I feel like maybe the game would bump up to 7 or an 8 out of 10. But yeah, generally it's fine. It's fine. It's a fine game. It's the most okay thing I've played in a very long time. And I just wanted to clarify that, as this video has obviously been getting a lot of attention. I mentioned this like 20 times. You get the point. But yeah, this is just a video to get myself back into the swing of things, address the fact that this video has been blowing up for some reason, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate that a lot. For those curious what I am going to be doing, seeing as obviously I disappeared for 2 weeks, 3 weeks almost, Marvel Rivals-a-thon. I am going to continue that. For those that don't remember, I was going to do Daredevil next, because I'm spinning a wheel every single time I want to make a new video, so I land on a new person. So I'll be doing, you know, some Marvel Rivals videos. I have heard rumors, seen some things, that Deadlock will be getting 6 new heroes. If that is true, and if that is the case, I will do as I promised. The Rivals-a-thon, if these Deadlock characters do come out, the Rivals-a-thon will go on hold, and I will return to Deadlock. Because the thing is, for those that don't know, I am autistic. I jump around a lot. I bounce from thing to thing rather rapidly. As you can probably tell from my video catalog, I do I did a bunch of Dead by Daylight videos, and then I did a bunch of Deadlock videos, and then I moved to doing, I just threw in a Hades 2 review there, and then I did some Overwatch videos for a Signalis review, or not a Signalis review, it's more like a retrospective. Then obviously continued the Overwatch videos, and then Season 20 came out, and by the way, I don't want to say I told you so, but Season 20 has sucked ass. Like, it has stunk. Overwatch 2 Season 20, in my humble opinion, has really sucked. Like, I saw a video, like, I don't want to say, oh, look, this big person agrees with me, so my opinion must be right. But I saw a TikTok of Frogger complaining about it, and he was, like, absolutely just devastated how boring the season was. And I was like, wow, Frogger's saying it? Frogger, you know, the Lucio dude, like probably one of the bigger Overwatch creators. I was like, that kind of felt, that felt good. That felt good. I was like, yeah, maybe I'm not tripping. So yeah, season 20 has been just so boring. Like mid-season is tomorrow. I had the pre-download for it on my Xbox and it was like 60 gigabytes. I was like, whoa, that's huge. That is massive. That's a big update. So who knows? Maybe season 20 will pick up. Maybe it'll actually do something instead of being, you know, hot dog shit. But yeah, in the meantime, for now, I'll be doing Rivals videos. If that Deadlock thing with new heroes is actually true and new heroes come out, I will go back to it because Deadlock is easily one of my favorite kind of games in the works right now. And I have to, you know, give it enormous props for kind of pushing me to where I am now in a way. Like, obviously I had that one Dead by Daylight video, yeah, where I got like 8K views. That was my first like big video. You can tell as well, like that. Well, yeah, like I had like one video here, yeah, where it got like 600 views, and at the time that was like, whoa, that's a lot of views for me. Whoa, that's crazy. You look at all these like 90, 200, etc., and then this got 8,000. I was like, whoa, that is it. Whoa. I might be cooking. And then, you know, this video. The video on the doorman is what's kind of put me on the map in a way, and I cannot thank Deadlock as a game enough for that fact. And I will return to it. I owe my channel to Deadlock, and I will return to it if we get more heroes. But in the meantime, again, not to repeat myself too often, but I do repeat myself a lot. I just tend to do this. It's just kind of how I am. I will be going to Rivals for now. I'll be doing a video on Daredevil in probably 2 days. So not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. And then we'll just keep going with that until either I get bored or maybe like I'll probably like when Overwatch season 21 comes out, I'll probably just cover that as well because, you know, I like to bounce around. I can't really stick on one thing for too long. But yeah, anyways, you get the idea. Marvel Rivals videos for now. I hope I've been able to clarify my thoughts on Dispatch relatively well. I feel like I've kind of explained what I think relatively well. I know I'm repeating myself, but good, decent game, 6 out of 10. Invisigal, still dislike her immensely. That thing with Malevola is still weird, and sexual harassment and assault is bad no matter who it happens to. I don't like the way this game kind of pushes male victims aside in a way. I don't like that at all. It really frustrates me when games and generally shows, TV, etc. do that as a whole. Recently, I watched the Chainsaw Man movie, and I watched Chainsaw Man. Holy shit. This is what I'm talking. This is peak. And that is a good example of how to kind of like take male victims seriously. Like the stuff that happens to Denji is portrayed in a bad way. Like that scene with Himeno, like that first person scene in the anime, that isn't meant to be like, whoa, haha, woman on top of me. You're meant to be uncomfortable. You are meant to be uncomfortable. And I feel a bit awkward around people that don't see that and actually do see it as like, whoa, awesome, yeah, score. Like, no. But anyways, I'll go off on tangents. Daredevil video in 2 days. I hope you look forward to it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, whether it be a good morning, afternoon, evening, etc. Like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And I shall see you next time.